How you doing, Fivers? This is Johnny Darko. We're going to go through an Arch Temper Nergigante run that we were successful with yesterday. And it's with the squad. We got Bolivar, Trinac, and Dillian. Our setup here is I'm on a heavy bowgun tank build with Thunder Ammo and Paralysis Ammo 2. Bolivar is on Switch Axe. He's running a melee build for aggro. You're going to notice that when we get to the lava room, he's going to have a special role to play there. Trinac's on Insect Glaive. He's our mounter. And Dillian is on Sword and Shield. He's our healer and shield basher. In your first stage here, your goal is if you can sleep Nergigante underneath a pillar, that's a good way to start it off. We didn't get it here. Actually, we missed one of the boulder drops actually. But you really want to try to get him to sleep. So if everybody just goes underneath one pillar and attacks, he'll jump over to you, and then someone's got to launch a rock up to him. You'll notice I just get hit by him, and then I was going to drop a rock, and then he rolls out. But in between each stage, I go back to camp and restock. You're going to notice that I'm running the Zenajiva spare shot build here so that I get an extra round every once in a while, sometimes a lot of extra rounds. I have another build as well where I use the Val set bonus. I think that I prefer the Val set bonus a little bit more because it allows you to heal as a tank. So when you're sitting there, trying not to get hit with your shield, your health is going up. So you use the Val set bonus along with a couple of skills like recovery up. But the gameplay here is a really defensive style. We've had, Arch Temper Nergigante just came out. We've been having a lot of problems with feints. If you solo Arch Temper Nergigante, you get 2 feints to yourself. But in multiplayer, if everybody takes 2 feints, we would have been done in the first area. So the techniques that we're using is to get into this room and do most of the damage in this room. First off, we're going to have Teostra come in, sometimes it's Kushala. But if you mount him right off the bat, or you get a KO when Teostra is in the room, he might not start a turf war. And you get some pretty great damage from that turf war on Arch Temper Nergigante. So don't mount yet. You notice I'm just setting up my base right here in the middle of the room because I can, he's in range pretty much anywhere in this room from this spot. So I just hang out here, shoot for the white spikes, and stop shooting whenever it seems like he is about to attack me. Because there's a little bit of an animation when you stop shooting in order for your shield to start working. So I just sit there, I take the hits, he doesn't do any damage to me, and then I turn around and I continue to shoot his white spikes. He moves around a lot more in multiplayer as well, so you have to be ready for him to be able to jump all the way across the map and be able to one-shot you if you're not ready for it. You can see he's trying to crush Bolivar. He's in a tough spot right here, but he's able to roll out. And Nergigante looks like he goes after our healer. So I got a little bit too greedy there. I should have noticed that Nergigante was about to jump. But I'm in a real bad spot here. I got a 3rd health left. I was a little too aggressive with shooting, and now Teostra shows up. And you notice Bolivar's hitting my shield too. I got to roll out of there. I just had to take the chance. Got out of there. I hope the healer is going to be able to heal me in time. But this is a good time for the squad to do damage when he's fighting Teostra. But as soon as he's done, he's going to come back to the squad and hit you pretty hard. So Teostra takes off. I can't move right now because he's got a couple moves that can one-shot me with half health if my shield isn't up. So now this is something the squad's figured out. We drop mega bombs right here on the entrance to the lava room before we go to camp, and Bolivar runs down to the lava room. So we all drop mega barrel bombs. We go back, we restock, and now what Bolivar is doing is he's down in the lava room getting aggro from Nergigante. And he wants to get him enraged so that he follows him into another room. And then what Bolivar will do is run back into the room we were just in, and Nergigante will jump on all those bombs and we get all that free bomb damage, Plus, we won't have to fight him in the lava room. I make sure to reload my gun in camp because, with the heavy bow gun, you're relying on that shield so much to save your life. And if I run out here and Nergigante is about to jump on me and I draw my weapon for my shield, if I'm not on full ammo, he's going to do a reload sequence that I've fainted to a number of times. So I learned my lesson. I reload back at camp. So you'll notice Bolvar wasn't able to get aggro yet or get him enraged, so we're still waiting for him to come back up. And this is why Bolvar eats for insurance, because he's really got one of the harder roles in this to play. Someone's got to go down there and get him. So we just wait here, and finally here comes Nergigante. I throw my temporal mantle. There's our bomb explosion. I don't move. I don't want to move too much right here. Although I have my temporal mantle on, I get a little more aggressive. And I'm just looking to unload the machine gun on some weak spots. Tough to get a shot on those white spikes. I see those spikes on his right arm. I'm able to get some rounds off on him. That machine gun is really the heavy hitter of this weapon. So that's where you're going to be seeing your most damage. Tree Neck gets a great mount here. And we just get to unload all of our heaviest hits. You can notice that was a zero-sum discharge as well from Bolvar. Dylan's getting some great sword and shield bashes on him. And I'm just aiming for white spikes. But I'm trying not to flinch either because they're in there doing their heaviest hitting. I don't want to... this is not the time where I want to flinch if I can avoid it. Try to just line up on his white spikes and try to stay away from these guys. Let them work on that tail. Now we got to be real careful because Nergigante is going to be wanting to get some revenge. So I just hold my ground, take my hit, and then continue. I'm still worried that he's going to jump on me. He ends up committing to Dylan over there, so I was able to throw some rounds back at him. This tank build is really an easy play style as long as you learn when to just stop moving. I thought before that you can walk and the shield would still work. Certainly not the case. I take some hits there. My healer's healing me through it. And I can't move right now. Because you notice that hit right there, that would have taken at least half my health if I didn't have my shield up. And just lobbing some rounds at the white spikes. Let the melee users chase them around the map. I get to hold strong. And there I got a little too aggressive. I saw the two white spikes on both of his arms lining up with my ammo, and I got too greedy there. And now I'm stuck on a third health. I was able to get a max potion in there and get back to fighting. I was going to run back to the lava room, and we're going to go ahead and continue with our pattern of dropping some bombs and going back to camp. This move of having someone go down there and bring them back up takes a lot of coordination. I don't know how long it's going to take for random SOSs to, get a feel for that, where that becomes the norm, but such an easier quality of life. But you really need someone that really takes the initiative and goes down there and gets Nergigante. Because what's happening is everyone's just piling up in the lava room and jumping down, and without coordination, they don't realize you have bombs set up. And it's just going to be confusing for everybody. That's where the communication comes into play. So I reloaded my weapon. Going to go back out there. I am concerned that if I come around this tunnel, you see how the ring is red on the map? Nergigante can come wreck you down this hallway because of that. So I throw on my vitality mantle, and sure enough, here he comes, looking for some death. He catches me, and if I didn't have my vitality mantle on, that could have killed me. So you're going to notice Bolvar gets in a real bad spot here. He's not able to get out of there, and he takes a feint. But he's got insurance, so we're good. A lot of white spikes, so this is a good time to lob some rounds into him. Just playing a little more defensively. Try not to leave myself too open for an attack. Don't move at all when he's over you because he can spin around. He's got a quick dive bomb he can do. He's got paw slams. So when he's on top of you or you're within range of his tail, just hold tight. And his hitboxes are absolutely enormous. So when he's doing any kind of dive bombs, just point yourself at him and just stand still. Now with AT Nergigante, with your shield, you need to point your shield at the tail when it's coming at you in order to block it. For Archtemper Nergigante, you actually have to point yourself towards Nergigante for the shield to work. I should have dive bombed there, or I should have Superman dove there. Superman dives are one of the biggest lifelines we have against Archtemper Nergigante. If you're really stuck at a bad spot or he's coming at you, just give yourself that extra time and do a Superman dive. Now he's going to swat me. You can notice the shield holding up pretty well. Not sure if I was close enough with that tail whip, so I just decided to stand my ground. And he's going back to the lava room. He really wants us to follow us down there. That's the room of death. We don't take the bait. Drop some more bombs, then go restock, and Bolvar gets to do the dangerous death fight with Nergigante while I get to go drink some coffee back at camp. So having quick menu loadouts is really important with this too. You don't have to take the time to switch everything back and forth whenever you restock. Whatever you're going in with your items, save it as a loadout and move it to the top of your list so that as soon as you load in, all you have to do is just keep hitting the X button and O to get out, and it saves everybody time. Quick reload, I noticed that my machine gun was back up and full, so I switched over to the machine gun fire so I don't have to take that animation mid-fight. You see Bolvar's health. He's doing the best that he can down there. Doing the best that he can. None of my mantles are up right now, but the map isn't red, so I should be good to come down the hallway without too much trouble, but you never know. You never know. I could have waited for temporal, but I decided to come in and help instead. You can always throw your temporal mantle out when you get in here. Machine gun's up. I wanted to get some shots on that. You can notice he gets out of range. No sense in using any of your weapons when you're out of range. You do pretty much no damage. You see 27s on here. I think a 37 compared to 1s. So try to get in range. With the machine gun, there is a slower time after you're done shooting to when your shield comes up. So you need to stop shooting your machine gun even earlier than you would with regular ammo. Bolvar and Treenak right there. I think they ate again for Moxie. So they're both down to 0 health. Now this is where the fight gets really interesting. We saved all our flash pods and paralysis because the one thing we don't want to do is let AT Nergigante go back to his nest with 25% health left. And that's how much health he has left when he starts limping. You're going to notice in the map, you see the little skull icon. That means that he's starting to get close to death. But that starts doing that when he still has 25% of health left. So Treenak gets a really important mount here. Everything you can do to keep AT Nergigante from going to his nest is the only goal right now. So play defensively, don't die, but you need to use your flashes. You need to use your paralysis. You need to get mounts. You can see a bomb was placed down there. We're just doing as much damage as we can, but still playing defensively. And with flashes, with mounts, with paralysis, that's still all defense with a lot of hard-hitting moves. So Treenak takes him down. We get a tail cut. I think Bolvar slices his tail off. Yep, there's his tail. And then he starts limping away again. I think we throw another flash at him. You can only flash AT Nergigante a set number of times. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. But he only has a limited amount of flashes. So if you flash him 4 times or whatever in the first area, then you're not going to be able to keep him here. And it really puts you at a disadvantage. If you go back to his nest, it really gets tight. Now I start lobbing paralysis ammo into him. I think I hit Bolvar with one of the rounds of paralysis ammo right here. So I need to reload. Yeah, I did. So I need to reload. And I think I just clip his wings with my last round. Yeah, I just clip his wings there. Now they can get off their biggest damage. I'm trying not to flinch them, but I'm also trying to get some good numbers. So just see, feel the monster out with your rounds. Just try to hit the spots where you get the highest numbers off your ammo without flinching your teammates. Especially when they're dealing big damage. Got another bomb. Pull that up. And then I think we have one more flash. We've done a considerable amount of damage to him after he started limping. And it's still not enough. So I think we get another flash here. Yeah, that's our last flash. Just hitting those white spikes. Playing defense. Stop shooting. Take the hit. Now you don't want to get too aggressive here. You really don't. Your instinct is to, he's limping, he's almost dead. That certainly isn't the case. You still have 25% of the fight left, and it feels like it. It's still another 8 minutes of fighting, it seems like, after he starts limping. So take your time. Don't take feints if you can help it. I ran out of thunder ammo, which worked out great. Because now, instead of going to his nest, he runs back to the lava room. I go back up to stock. And Bolvar went down to see if he can get him out of there. One of the biggest issues with victories with multiplayer AT Nergigante is the feints. Play it safe. Vitality 3. If you're using shield, I use shield 5. The Veil set bonus is great for tanks. I'm a big fan. Make sure that your armor is fully augmented and upgraded. I've seen some people come in here with defense that was lower than. I try to hit 500 or higher if you can of defense. If you have under 400, it's going to be a quick death with the amount of damage that Arch-Tempered Nergigante does. My Vitality mantle is back up, so I throw it back on. He's back up. I don't think we got any bomb damage on him that time. Here, I had a feeling like Nergigante was going to come towards me a little bit more, so I did just continue to shoot. Got a little greedy, got a little too aggressive. I see his arm there is just like, looks like a perfect spot to just take out some damage. Got some great damage there. This tail swing, you have to be careful of that. That does some considerable damage if your shield's not up. Just keep shooting at his spikes. And this is a terrible spot for them to be in. You see Bolvar takes a feint. If he's in the hallway, like, we don't want him to go back to his nest, but we still don't want him to murder us in the hallway. I'd say either pick one room or the other. Getting stuck in that hallway is just a terrible idea. I'd rather just get out of the hallway and go to this room. So if you have a choice to run between one or the other, and he's starting to limp back, try to get to this room instead and keep him in here. But fighting him in that hallway is really, really tough. I think Trinak realizes he doesn't have bombs, so I think he goes back to camp. So back at the last area, we were able to fight him through, I think it was 3 flashes of paralysis amount. Then he went back in the lava room, brought him back out, did more damage, and we still had to fight him in his nest. So you can imagine if this was all damage we had to do to him here, we would be up here for 8 minutes fighting him in this room, which is extremely tight. Instead, we did a lot of damage. Now we just have to place some bombs, get a nice wake up with either a true charge slash, or I think we use Wyvern Fire here, and then just finish him off at the end. We waited for I think it was Treenack had to run back to get some bombs, so it just take a while. There's no rush. He will eventually wake up, and if that's the case, then you're going to want to make sure you shoot him or hit him. But you have time. He's going to be asleep for a little while, so wait for our teammates. No sense in rushing anything here. We got 50 minutes to beat him. And like I said, we're only taking 25 minutes. Bolvar calls out for a Wyvern Fire wake up. So I roll in and do that. And the reason that we were successful here, we have a coordinated team. Everybody is playing very defensively. We were able to use a lot of bombs. The bombs really helped the damage. We missed a rock drop. We missed a sleep rock drop. 2 sleep rock drops if we could. I think you can only sleep them once. But we missed a sleep rock drop at least. And even with all that missed damage, we were still successful. That when he wakes up, he's going to do a roar and a dive bomb. Just be ready to either roll out of it or block it or just move out of the way. I'm real vulnerable here with half health. I have to sheath and heal because I notice all my teammates are just trying to murder Nergigante here because they all know it's close. But this is where you don't want to die. You don't want to be 25 minutes into the fight and then take your last feint in this room. So just be cautious. You can hear the zero-sum discharge at the end of the day, that switch axe taking down Archtemper Nergigante. So that's how me and my squad beat him. We're going to continue to refine this, so we'll bring you a new video with better techniques once we get him down. But wanted to share this and get it out and let you know how we were able to take him down. This is Johnny Darko. Appreciate it, Fivers. We will see you next time.